It's a charity stripe. Pitch free throws because they all free. Josh Fisher, Alexander Tosman, Octosopoulos, DJ, Nikki, Snacks, Kreider on 1090. Gentlemen, history was made last night for the first time in a long time. Someone has hit 60-plus bombs. Aaron Judge did that last week. It was a little cold. I think it was 7 games, including the one in Toronto last night. Not including the one in Toronto last night.
He was in his head.
He was in his... Oh, yeah. I mean, that's 61.
Yeah.
Especially with the pressure against the Red Sox at home.
Did you guys see the guy who missed the catch?
I mean,
first of all, I'm against bringing a glove to the game, but there's a scenario. If you're a grown man, of course. If you're a kid, whatever, have fun.
Thing, yeah.
But if you're a grown man,
you want the psycho just barehanded.
Well, no, I'm just saying that is the one time where it's acceptable to bring a glove to the game for a Pujols 700 home run or for a big milestone like Aaron Judge hitting 61.
Yeah.
But if you bring a glove to the game, you better catch the ball if you get a glove on it.
You have to.
The guy was so upset with himself.
He spiked the glove.
Yeah.
Later on, like the 7th inning.
Yeah, of course. Because we were talking about it the other day on our TV show. Nick, you and I, we didn't get into it, but we were definitely at odds. Think about how pricey that.
You guys got into it.
Well,
yeah, we did get
700 is worth more than 61.
Yes.
Pujols is.
Yes. What do you think we're most likely to see again?
Well,
I don't think we'll ever see a 700 again.
Judge can feasibly hit more. Like,
yeah.
It might not be done. And obviously, Pujols, like, what he ends with is what he ends with. And if he doesn't end with 700, okay. But that 700th ball is still worth so much.
Right. Because, like, 60 is worth something, obviously. That's like just a big milestone number. 61 because it's the record. 62 because you break the record. And then whatever he finishes with.
Yeah, and then at that point, it becomes the new record.
I feel like he's going to end up with, like, 64. Now that he's got that one out of the way, there's no pressure. There's a little bit of pressure, maybe just to...
still got to break it.
Yeah, but he's tied it now.
Well, that's another thing. I don't understand, I guess because Maris is a Yankee, maybe.
Well, it's an American League record.
An American League record. I think the pressure was on to tie it, but in my opinion, the same amount of pressure, you still got to break it.
Yeah.
More, I would actually
argue it might be more pressure to break the record. Like, to set the record, it might be more pressure than to tie the record. Like, you've tied it. Okay, great.
But I also think it's defensible that, like, okay, the last week or whatever it was that he didn't hit a home run, prior to that, he was on such a scorcher that some of it's
come back
not
to
even
reality.
Just like pressure. Yeah, it's just like regressing back to the mean, you know, and like baseball's a game of streaks. So like sometimes you get really hot, and obviously he's been nearly scorching the entire year.
Yeah. To your question about what will we see again potentially?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think 60+ home runs is more feasible, just because these days. I mean, okay, Pujols played 22 seasons, I believe. This is his 22nd season.
Yeah. Go.
Took you 22 seasons to hit 700. Hank Aaron, I think, was 20+ seasons. Babe Ruth, I mean, that was back in the day when he was, hitting against electricians.
Sure. Nice. Change up from the J.J. Redick plumber.
The plumber.
Yeah, nice.
And of course, we had old Barry Bonds, who, not convicted, but was accused of juicing.
Little juice.
So
green juice in the AM.
I wholeheartedly believe that that's not going to be as feasible, just because of the way injuries shake up. Guys don't play as long. Also, like back in the day, like guys were hitting 50 home runs consistently, 40 home runs consistently. Now it's like there's not that many guys that hit the 40 mark. Like you see a lot of consistent 30 home run guys. And that's not going to cut it for 20+ years.
Any longevity record is always going to be much more difficult than a season-long record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Trout would probably be, considering the pace he hits home runs at. Like, the thing is with Mike Trout, he's at, with Trout, for me, it's like he's hit 38 this year so far. And he's been on a tear as well. But
that's sneaky.
It is, because he's only played like 112 games.
Right.
Imagine if he played 140. But the issue is he was hurt last year. He's hurt again this year.
And the 2020 season hurts a lot of players too.
100%. I mean, it hurt Pujols.
Right.
Pujols probably would have done it already.
He would have done it, and he could have moved into third place, taking over for Babe Ruth.
Oh, yeah.
I have no...
Where's he at RBI-wise?
I have no, there's no science behind this take whatsoever.
Love it.
But for some reason, I just feel like Judge has more pop than Mike Trout.
Bigger guy.
He's huge, right? He's 6'8".
I think the biggest... I think my favorite guy to watch at home runs is Stanton still.
Yeah.
They're just lasers.
They're always lasers.
I just feel like he Judge's swing to me feels more effortless than Stanton's does.
I mean, when you're, what is he, 6'7"?
Yeah.
6'7", 6'8", like
When you're 6'7",
Tight.
yeah, and you got a long swing, like there's a lot of that bat that can catch the ball and still make it go a long way.
100%. You know who I always felt had the longest swing? Alfonso Soriano.
Well, he had the longest.
It's a nice
he had
one.
The longest
bat, right? You knew I was going with
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay. Pujols is 6 RBIs away from tying Babe Ruth for second all time. Low key. It's a very low key.
Wow.
Right?
That's another big it's a huge milestone.
That's a massive milestone. And Judge right now is leading Triple Crown.
And he's got, what, 6 games left?
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
5 games left?
Playoffs don't count.
No, they don't.
And he's slow. I think Pujols is kind of, since he's hit the 700.
Slowed down.
Yeah, he's deflated a little bit. I mean, dude, it's not even like he was like, okay, like shrugging along.
That's kind of swag. He might end his career with 700 on the dot.
That'd be so PIMP.
I mean, obviously, like, he's
I don't
cool
know
with
if I can say people
701.
on radio, but I just did anyway.
You definitely
so
can.
Definitely.
He's definitely cool with 701 or 702, but Mr. 700 kind of has a nice ring to it.
Well, it's also like
3,000, nothing swaggier than that.
he
That
got-
was coolest.
he got 700, and now it's like, get our eyes on the prize.
Right, let's
If he wins
make
World-
make
what
the
if he wins World
playoffs.
Series
That's
this year?
what I was telling.
Okay, Josh thinks to the team of destiny
How
just
would they
because of that. What do you mean? Just because of that?
Who is then?
There's
There's one.
never a team of destiny.
There always is one.
Padres.
has to be one.
It's Padres.
It's not, y'all. It's not. If Soto had come in and been really great, maybe, and like taken,
We're hot right now.
If this was,
Snell is hot right
if the
now.
Dodgers,
The entire team
hadn't-
is hot right now.
If the Dodgers hadn't been good the past 10 years, would they be the team of destiny? Because their record, like, yes, right?
Well, yeah, they just set a franchise record for wins.
I know who could be Team of Destiny. First longest playoff drought. I can.
The Mariners?
Mariners, yeah.
The Mariners.
Yeah, but
Not
they're
great
they're
Julio.
kind of on a skid right now too. They're not locked in.
No, Julio just went on the IL, but I don't think the Orioles are going to catch them. I think the O's are kind of done. The O's are going into Yankee Stadium.
Right. What about the Cleveland Guardians, the ones that snuck in there? Why can't they be the team of destiny?
The thing with the Guardians is like they have the pitching. They maybe have the best closer in baseball.
Came from San Diego.
Yeah. Don't they always? They always either come to or come from San Diego.
Yeah.
Everyone goes to.
If you look at the league, like I'm sure like 30 or 40%, not 40, probably like 25 to 30% of players have come in through the Padres organization
Rizzo,
at some point.
he just came to my mind.
Yeah, Rizzo.
Emmanuel is the best closer in baseball. Probably better than Edwin Diaz this year, although Diaz has gotten all the love and the hype being in New York.
All the
They have
trumpets.
Bieber, they have McKenzie. They just have like a bunch of guys that can pitch and eat innings. And then their lineup,
They've got a top 10 position player in the league.
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
Maybe like on they made
And
Andres
Jimenez is top 3 in WAR
yeah, he's like leading. He's second in the AL in WAR
behind Judge.
behind Judge, who's at like 10 right now. And Rosario has been good. Like, by the way, that was the Lindor deal. Rosario and Jimenez for Lindor.
Yeah, it's a good one. Where do you rank Judge's season right now compared to just single season records by a hitter?
Single season records.
Not records, single seasons by a hitter.
that
That's what I
I've
mean.
like seen. I'm not including like the whole like Bonds, Sosa. I mean Sosa,
McGuire.
Bonds.
Like, is this the best one you've ever seen?
That I've
It's got to be,
seen.
right?
Yeah. This is pretty remarkable. There was one year where
I
like
mean, contract year too. It's
Contract
crazy.
year was crazy. There's one him and Lamar. There was one year. This is a really random one, but just because he was a catcher, when Joe Mauer hit like 364,
That was nuts.
that was nuts.
And when anyone hits 364, it's nuts.
Which is like think about like right now where like Freddie's leading with like a 320 something. Like
Yeah.
364 is
How many
absurd.
how many RBIs does Judge have?
Like 120.
Something. He's not leading the league though. He's not leading the whole MLB.
There,
But you'll win the AL triple
He
crown.
won the AL Triple Crown. Alonso's leading the whole MVP, the whole
right.
league. Yeah,
He
he's-
set a Mets record.
and he's the only Mets player to have 2 40 home run seasons, which is crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
A
it is
very
really
very rich history in New York there.
With home run hitters.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
No one went back to back, or no one had. It's not back to back, just two in general.
No Piazza, no
Wow.
Delgado, no Beltran, no Strawberry, no nothing.
No, nothing.
Right.
What a what if.
David Wright.
Do you guys have any guys like me? No, you don't, because like what? I'm trying to think of like a guy like we have. The Red Sox have one, Pedroia. Pedroia is like our David Wright.
What if?
Like, if they never got hurt. If David Wright never gets hurt, he's a Hall of Fame player, for sure. He's a guy that can hit 3,000 hits. This is the kind of player we're talking about.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, maybe a pitcher who, like, had TJ and had to sit out and then just came back and not great.
No one really.
Was Lincecum one of those guys who got hurt and just, like, didn't come back strong?
Kind of fell off. He
fell off, but did he get hurt?
Yeah.
He just lost velo on his fastball and then was done. Small guy and was done. He had such a window where he was just.
He was so good.
Epic. He was epic.
The freak.
That goes back to the Hall of Fame conversation we always have. Like, he won back-to-back Cy Youngs. Like, at what point can, like, if you for a 5-year period are regarded, and maybe he's the guy I always go to is Johan Santana or Cliff Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you at one point in time are a top 3 pitcher or top 3 player in the league, or even the best, like, there was a period of time where Johan Santana is the best pitcher in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 5-year period or one of top 5.
I feel like there was a 10-year period where you could argue that he was the best.
Sure. Why is that not Hall of Fame worthy? How is that not, I just don't understand that.
Yeah. It goes back to what we had talked about yesterday on our other show about longevity versus like short stints. But then we were talking about the NFL, guys getting into the Hall of Fame, right? With Chris Johnson having that 2,000 rushing yard season and, you know, having that period where he was like the best running back compared to a guy like Frank Gore who has played in the league longer and has, you know, more rushing yards and more accolades just as a career standpoint. But yeah, I mean, looking at that perspective, just because of the length of running backs' careers, like it's not very long. I feel like I got to side with the guys who are like the best at a certain time. Pitchers too, though. I feel like longevity definitely is a strong suit to have when making a case for the Hall of Fame. But if you're winning back-to-back Cy Youngs, you know, if you're like leading the league in strikeouts, if you have the best ERA for, you know, 3, 4, 5 years, I think it's got to be some consideration.
100%.
I mean, that's half a decade.
Yeah. He was elite. Like, and, you know, it's just like people get so, like, Mike Mussina is a Hall of Famer and Johan's not. Like, he was never better than Johan Santana.
Is Johan's opportunity over?
Done. Can't make it.
He didn't make the. Nope. Oh wow.
He didn't even have 2,000 strike. I mean, it's just the whole thing is ridiculous.
They got to redo the rules. They really do. I'm sure there's so many guys that got snubbed back in the 80s, 90s.
It's just the whole thing's dumb. And I think going back to like the today's game standpoint, then just I'm so enthralled with the team of destiny. I think the Cardinals are a team of destiny. I also think they're like the worst team to play in the playoffs because they are always locked. They lock in. There's no measure of metric, but they're always locked in.
I will say the last time
spoiler
when they were in the playoffs against the Padres, we took care of business. So
y'all beat. What was that? Was that a 2-game, 3? Was it 3 game?
It was a 5-game.
5-game,
and we came back. Wait, it was a 5-game. They were up 2. Yeah, I think it was a 5-game because they were up 2 games on us, and we came back and won.
Yeah, and then y'all lost to the Dodgers.
We lost to the Dodgers. We got swept by them.
Yeah. Then
that was the COVID season.
That was the year. That was like you had a similar stance, which I applaud. I applaud your look. You know, you want it badly as a San Diego fan, and I appreciate you being confident. But that eerily reminded me of the time that we went to go watch the Chargers Patriots in the playoffs.
You're saying when I was confident about the Dodgers series?
You thought you were going to win that. Which I get, I appreciate. Like, you have to go in being confident. Maybe not as confident as you were in that Chargers Patriots game.
Listen, it was a 60-game season, so like you didn't really get a true barometer of how good teams were.
Sure.
Right? Like it's not even half. It's less than half the season in a regular season.
What did you say to that guy the other day when you saw him wearing the Dodgers World Series? You weren't there.
Yeah, he had a Dodgers World Series hat 2020. I said, "Oh, you got the Mickey Mouse Dodgers hat."
The bubble.
Yeah,
the bubble baseball.
And Josh is like, "Oh, because it was the 2020 World Series," and the guy's like, "Yeah, I heard him."
Yeah, it's hilarious.
We were getting mic'd up on set. But yeah, I was confident in that series, but at the same time, of course, I wanted to win the World Series. But the Padres have never won a World Series, so I didn't necessarily want that to be the first World Series. I would have taken it, but that being the first World Series that the Padres ever won, it'd be the same thing. You'd get an asterisk next to it. People would be like, it's the Mickey Mouse World Series. You know, go and get a real one.
Yes, but it's almost like once you got to the playoffs, it didn't matter. It
became real.
Sure.
It became real again. Yeah, once you got to the playoffs, it became real again.
I get it. But looking back at it, like I'd rather win a World Series right
You,
now
like
than
you
last.
can, you can sleep okay at night knowing
Yeah.
that wasn't the first one that
Exactly.
you wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I wanted it, but like, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
No, I would love to see the city when y'all win. I don't.
You'll be there.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be. I really don't think it'll be this year, but I don't think it's impossible.
I don't think it'll be this year either, but it's not impossible. And then, of course, next year I think is going to be the best shot we're ever going to have.
Sure. I think the Braves and the Mets. It's going to be one of those two teams. I know it's crazy picking against.
They'll have to go through us.
I know it's crazy picking against the Dodgers.
They always find a way to choke. They've had so many good teams.
The no Bueller thing has completely gone under the radar.
I really believe this, and people might disagree and people might agree with me, that Dave Roberts is a very overrated manager.
I like the Doc Rivers of MLB.
He has had some amazing teams, and he's underachieved.
What?
He's been better.
Than Doc?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's smaller.
He's underachieved.
Yeah.
They've both underachieved.
Both of them, yeah. I mean,
They've had amazing rosters.
I mean, Doc Rivers.
But he's been to
9
more he just feels like he gets further along. Like there's less.
Doc went to 2.
Still disappointment.
Doc went to 2 with the C's.
How many World Series have the Dodgers been in the last 10 years?
Dodgers went. They lost to the Stros.
They lost to the Sox.
They lost to the Sox.
They won the World Series recently. Beat the Rays.
Been to 3.
And then they've also been to a bunch of NLCSs.
Right.
I mean, there's been a bunch where Kershaw's just collapsed. Not a bunch where he's specifically collapsed, where the team's collapsed. I mean,
But the Braves team was really, really good last year, right? Like I think a lot of times Doc was leaving the Clippers teams especially, and they were losing and sometimes not even getting to the Western Conference
Yeah, they were
Finals,
losing to like the Rockets.
where it was like they were better than that team. They had
And it was
better
choke
roster.
too. We were up 3-1 in that game.
Right. I just
Clippers
it's less,
fan here.
I think he is less of a defense to like that critique than Dave Roberts does. Although I will say he's certainly like he can overmanage a game. That is for sure.
Who has more of a fingerprint on a game, an NBA coach or a manager of baseball?
I think probably an NBA coach. If I really had to,
I think it's tough. Dude.
it's tough. Okay,
Every coach is so different.
It's tough because like you could totally play a whole baseball game without any managerial decisions. You could just have your starting pitcher out there who throws shutout, and you have your same lineup, and that's it. I mean, unless the manager's calling pitches like they used to, I don't think they do that much anymore.
No.
Or like sending the signs over to the third base coach. But from what I hear, a lot of the MLB GMs are the ones that make the lineups, right? They send the lineup down, or they send like 3 options for lineup cards to the manager, and the manager gets to decide between the 3 which one he likes best.
But
so
he's
like
still primarily making the calls throughout the game. So even a no decision is a decision, and that's a no decision to leave a guy in.
Right. Exactly. I know it's tough, but I feel like in the NBA, like there's way more rotation going in and out. You know, like
I mean, I'll never forget.
You definitely
plays.
both,
You run
both
plays.
have a serious impact on the game. I mean, calling timeouts like during ebbs and flows of games, managing your timeouts, managing your minutes. Like, of course, you have assistant coaches to help with all of that. Empowering your team, like
I mean,
and that's probably the least amount of.
obviously NFL head coach is like the most hands on.
Not even close. I think I could fingerprint, or put my finger on 2 points where NBA. I vividly remember game 1 or game 2, Pacers Heat, where they took Roy Hibbert out of the paint. Remember that?
Frank Vogel.
Yeah, Frank Vogel
has a ring. Mickey Mouse ring.
Yeah, there you go.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse ring.
Miska Muska.
Both LA teams, Mickey Mouse rings. Then I would also pinpoint Game 6 when Tim Duncan was not in the game and Chris Bosh was able to get the rebound. Which, if Tim Duncan's in that game, I'm not saying he gets the rebound. It just is, I would imagine, a lot harder.
Just side note,
Sure.
what I just realized, okay, between the Lakers, the Dodgers, and the Rams that all won championships within the last 2 years,
Yeah.
I feel like there wasn't a ton of excitement in the city. Obviously, I know COVID, so you could not really do as much, but I felt like the city of LA was just going to be way more lively and vibrant in celebration of the championships.
I think the Dodgers, if they had won outside of COVID, that one
Lakers too.
That would have been both of them, honestly.
No one cares about the Rams.
Right.
Or they do, but
They're
like
starting
not,
to care
they're starting to care more now that they've won. Look, think about LA. It's a prove it to me city. Any aspect.
What have you done for me lately?
100%. It's the might as well be like the namesake of the cities. What have you done?
That's why it's so ridiculous that the Chargers are here. They're never going to be able to succeed here.
This ridiculous mogul.
I mean, they could win all the championships in the world, and I really don't think the Chargers will ever have an established fan base here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should just get to the playoffs at this point. We could talk about that in the next segment, but that team is. You said it.
Cursed.
Cursed. Yeah. I can't.
Let's talk about it. I'd love to.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know you would love to talk about it. All right, Joshua Fisher, Alexander Tossing the Octosopoulos. You know him because he mixes things like a DJ, and he is a DJ. DJ Nicky Snacks Crider, the Charity Stripe. Pitch free throws because they're free. We'll see you in just a hot second. We're back, baby. It's the Charity Stripe. Pitch free throws because they are free. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Tossing the Octosopoulos, DJ Nicky Snacks Crider. Nick, we said that we would get to the Chargers, and we will. I know you're itching for it, but we played a fun game last week, and we didn't do well from a betting standpoint, but I felt like a lot of the times...
No one's been doing well.
No one's been doing well. I'm not really concerned about it. The Minnesota-Detroit game, like, there were missed field goals. We should have hit the over. In that one, there was missed field goals in the Chiefs and the Bills game. There was just a lot of things that didn't go. The Bengals game went our way. The Bucks, maybe we were a little too optimistic about the defense and no wide receivers. I mean, they almost won. They could have won.
Could have won. Tom Brady is not himself. And like last season, he set a
his no Jones, no Godwin, no Evans.
I get it, but last season you set a record for passing yards in your career.
Yeah,
and like he's right now outside the top 25 in quarterback play.
He lost
2 of his starting linemen.
Thank you. One retired and one was out before the season even started. So you lose 2 interior linemen. You haven't had Godwin. Julio in and out of the lineup. Evans suspended. You bring Cole Beasley off from Walmart. Like, you know.
Where's Gronk?
I really don't think. I don't think he's coming back this time.
I don't think. What about Edelman?
Yeah,
that was plausible too. All right, let's go through the slate though. Let's talk slate. Let's do a little slate action. We did it last time. We went through the slate. I threw it at you guys.
Somebody say slate again.
Slate.
Hi, my name is Nick Kreider. I'm 6'1", based in Los Angeles, California.
Okay, great.
That's
awesome.
called the slate.
That is called the slate. Okay, we'll start with my team, even though it's an afternoon game, but it's at the top of my thing on Bleacher Report app. Patriots in Green Bay. The line is
6.5.
9.
Whoa.
In favor of Green Bay. The over-under is 40.5. Anything you guys like there or pass on this game?
Pass.
Okay, next passing, Alex.
I'm going to take the Packers.
Spread.
So just so you know how the game works, we only pick 5.
Sorry, I didn't really.
So it's like you're passing on that one, or you're taking it. So be selective.
Okay, I'll pass.
Okay,
I'll pass on that. But obviously, if Mac Jones doesn't play in that game,
which he's not going to, I don't think he's D for doubtful.
I'm intrigued.
Okay,
my interest is piqued.
Okay, well, let's go to London.
Sharks.
I'm curious to see what you guys feel about this one because I have very, very strong feelings about it. Let's go to London. Vikings, Saints. 2.5 favor of the Vikings. Over under is 43. Pass or anything in this game?
I'm gonna take the Saints.
Ooh.
I think they're a London team.
Okay.
Them and the Jags.
Okay.
And it's like another home game for them. And then of course, I think it's gonna be low scoring.
Okay.
But 43 is very low.
Jameson and Mikey T, little wavering on playing. That doesn't scare you.
No.
Okay.
I think they'll play.
Okay. So you're going Saints. You're going to take this game. It's one of your 5.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Do we consider, because of when this game is being played, because it's in England, that this is technically a primetime game?
No.
Because if that was the case, if we were considering it a primetime game, I would ride with Nick and pick the Saints.
I'm
gonna pass on
antithesis of primetime. It's at 6:30 a.m. on the Pacific time.
So maybe. Okay. So are you going Saints?
But it has its own slot.
Are you going Saints spread or are you going
Saints spread?
Spread. So you're not taking them straight up.
What's 2.5?
Yeah.
Saints spread.
Okay. That's fair.
I'm going to pass on this one.
Okay. Bears at Giants. Giants are the favorite, -3. The over-under is 39.5.
Pass.
I'm going to take the under in this game.
Yeah.
Pass.
Just, you know what, speaking of pass, Justin Fields going into this game has 23 completed passes.
Tide's got to change.
Tide's got to change? Dude couldn't hit the red side of a barn. Like, what? Dude, okay.
Well, Montgomery also might not be playing, which for anyone who's a Khalil Herbert owner.
He played great.
You should get excited about that.
Yes, You're Khalil Herbert owners. Okay, so you're going under in that game. Bills at the Ravens. Bills are favored in Baltimore, -3. Spread. The over-under is 51.
I like the over.
Okay. Nick's going over.
I'm gonna pass on this game.
It's a tricky game.
It's a very tricky
but
game.
I don't hate the over pick there. Not many home dogs. This is one of them. Browns at Falcons. It's pretty much a pick 'em, but it's Browns -1.
Pass.
Over under is 47.5.
Rise up, baby.
You're gonna take this one.
I'm gonna take the Falcons money line in this game.
Okay.
Garrett, unfortunate accident. Obviously, he's not going to play in this game. They need him on that defense. The rest of the defense is obviously solid, but I
don't think the Falcons are that bad.
I think what they've shown me offensively the last weeks is enough that I think that Jacoby Brissett he's gonna have pressure on him to perform this game.
Sure.
And he hasn't had that yet. It's been hand the ball off to Nick Chubb, and the Falcons defense does enough. Cordy P, another 100 yards on the ground.
Cody P.
140 London Pitts. Like Pitts had a good game.
They've got great weapons there.
And whoever the quarterback is next year, pretty exciting stuff. Okay, Nick, your Chargers, another home dog. The Texans, you guys -5 favor. Over under is 44. Staying away. Anything? You have a couple minutes or a couple seconds. Sorry. 30,
I'm going to say pass on this game
Yeah.
just because of the amount of injuries that we're getting. Is this when you want me to talk about the Chargers?
You
or
have
no?
a minute. Go for it. Yeah.
We're cursed. Just, I mean, I don't know what more to say there. Just injury after injury, right? You lose Rashawn Slater for the year. Joey Bosa missing significant time. Herbert going out with the rib injuries for a little bit, and obviously he's playing through the injury. Keenan Allen being out. Like, just the entire team is getting depleted. J.C. Jackson started the season hurt. Corey Linsley hurt. I mean, those are all pros. 8 guys in ESPN top 100 preseason ranked. 5 of them hurt.
Wow. That's a great stat right there. Not a good stat to have, but like, thanks for pulling it out.
It's an ownership curse.
Okay.
Right? When you're a crappy owner, when you're a crappy human being, the gods don't shine their light upon you, and they don't wish success to the organization of the Chargers.
Now he's
So,
got $1 billion.
So
in debt.
I was going
He's
to
in
ask
debt.
you, like, what do you think how do you get rid of the
isn't?
curse? Like in Pirates of the Caribbean,
You sell the team, right? You make money, you get yourself out of debt, the family debt, the Spanos family, and then you get a great owner in there, and then you move him back to San Diego, and then curse over.
Pirates of the Caribbean reference it. How do they do it in Pirates of the Caribbean? Before we get back to
They use the blood of
they collect all of Hernan Cortez's gold,
and then they cut his put the blood over
of
it.
the traitor, the blood of the
It's
traitor.
always the blood.
Right.
It's Bootstrap Bill.
Right.
Strap Bill, yeah.
Which is Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom, yeah.
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 Bootstrap Bill's son,
William Turner.
William Turner.
William Turner. What a great, very underrated series. At least the first 3 were unbelievable. Okay, just to quickly recap before we get to the rest of the games. Everyone is passing, which way on the Packers Patriots. That's fair. So toss. You have the under in the Bears Giants 39.5, and then you have rise up Falcons money line. Nick, you have the over 51 in Ravens Bills, and then you have Saints spread 2.5 plus 2.5. Chargers, you're passing on. The spread's 5 in favor of the Chargers. It's in Houston. Over under is 44. Toss, you are.
I'm gonna take the Chargers.
Okay.
I'm gonna take them.
Spread.
I think I'm gonna take them spread. I think
Okay.
this is a get right game for their offense. I think Eckler finally has his like
Coming
come
out
to
party.
Jesus moment, and yeah, he has 2 touchdowns in this game. One
Whoa.
on the ground and one in the
We
air.
got a touchdown.
I'd like
prediction.
that.
And I think Herbert Herbe is deals. I think
What's
he
the
deals in
props
this game.
on that? Maybe
I will look at that.
I bet he's
AJ.
minus. He's like minus probably
To have a touchdown?
110 to score a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah.
But 2, he's got to be like, I don't know. My
Double
guess is
dip.
yeah. What do you think,
5
Nick?
plus 225.
Yeah, I mean,
Something like
I
that.
would take like a plus 300, plus 225 or
Over
something.
under 1.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's spicy. Okay, so toss. That's now you have 3. Just a heads up, but you're going Chargers -5. Commanders at Dallas -3.5 in favor of the boys. Over under 41. There's something I kind of like in this game. I'm curious to see what you guys think of it.
I'm a pass.
I think it's a pass game, but you know what I like in this game.
You should take the boys if you're
You
gonna
like the
if you're gonna
under?
make a bet. That's who I would take.
I like the under.
Yeah.
You like the
I'm
under?
a
I
pass.
think they suffocate Carson Wentz, but pass is fair. And I
Oof.
don't
Right.
think the
It's-
Cowboys offense doesn't.
Dark.
It's a dark one. Yeah. Okay. 2 of the most surprising teams in football meet this week.
Jags.
Doug. Thank you, Nick. God, we are on
The
one
Doug
today.
Peterson Bowl.
Jesus, do I didn't even need to talk. Jags at Eagles, in a good way. I meant that. -6.5 in favor of the fly Eagles fly. 6.5 over under 46.
I like the over.
Okay. Do you want to take that?
I don't know if I want to take that. I think I'd rather take Jags plus 6.5.
I can't. This game's a pass for me.
Okay.
They're giving him too many. Which, if I were to bet, I would ride with Nick, and because they're giving the Eagles too many points here for what the Jags have done offensively. Like, but I still need to see more from them to have like full confidence in them.
Okay, so now Nick, that's your third
Mhm.
bet, and then Alex, you're still at 2. No,
I have 3.
You have 3. Okay. Still go. There's a lot of AM games for us. Jets, Steelers. Steelers -3 over under 41.5.
Pass.
Zach Wilson return.
Jets, Steelers. What's the spread?
3.
3 in favor of Pittsburgh.
I will take Jets plus 3.
Zach Wilson's first game back.
I will take Jets plus 3.
Okay. Seahawks at the Lions, top 5 offense in the league, -4 in favor of Detroit. Over under is 48.
Take the Lions. -4.
I like that. I like that pick.
I like that bet a lot. Shout out Jeff Okuda. We stuck with you.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Okay.
I'm taking it.
You guys have 1 left each, just a heads up.
Yeah.
How many games do we have left?
You have 5 to choose from.
Oof.
But I think you went through the ones, like some of these other ones are like, wait till you hear some of these lines. Titans at Colts. Colts -3.5 over under 43.
Pass.
I'm not even gonna watch this game.
Okay. They love that analysis and honesty out of you. Cardinals at Panthers. Now we're in the
I mean,
afternoon
make me
slate.
care about that game. Seriously. Like,
If you have Jonathan Taylor, I guess,
I have
or Derrick Henry.
I have Derrick Henry.
so only fantasy implications.
Only,
It's
yeah.
the only reason.
But
why
I
you
feel like
watch
a lot of people only watch football because of fantasy implications these days, right? It's like if your starting running back is on,
Yeah.
it's the Vikings versus, the Jets. You want to watch Justin Jefferson or Dalvin Cook.
I get horny for a good game. I'm not going to lie still.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
all about.
I think you could say pimp on the air, but I'm still kind of on the fence about horny.
It's like the you know what on an airplane type thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Aaron Tobin Hess. I'm all about
Love a good shout
for
out.
the love of the game.
Yeah.
That's what I watch for.
Nice. Great reference. Good shout out. Go check out a show on Believe.com. Okay. Cardinals, Panthers in Carolina. Sweet Caroline. -1.5. The battle of the OU boys. Over under 43.
Battle of the Heismans. Battle
I
of
don't
the
wanna
first
take
round.
this at all.
Battle of the first overall pick.
Talk about a game I'm not watching again.
Okay. Can I throw a sneaky little, just like not even from a betting standpoint, you're going to pass on this one. I would, knowing you.
Let me listen to you. Persuade me.
I think I am uninspired by this Cardinals offense, and I think people look at that Raiders game at that miraculous comeback. That being said, I think their defense has some promise, and I think of all the defenses in the NFL, the one that I'm really keying in on to watch is the Panthers.
So like the under.
I think the under is appetizing. I'm more so watching this game to see at home, they're favored, what this Panthers defense can do. Because if they win this game, they're 2-2, and that's a playoff team in the NFC through week 4.
So you would take the Panthers.
I would not touch this game, but I'm watching in for future bets.
Oscar Laviska. I don't want to watch this.
Okay, Oscar Levinsky. You don't even wanna
Yeah,
watch the game.
I'm intrigued by this game as well.
I'm intrigued by this game. It's
But
a really
I'm-
telling game for both teams.
But I'm going to
And 2 head coaches who are on the hot seat.
going to join my boy Nick and swim away.
Okay, cool. Just keep swimming. Okay, this is talk about a get right game. Broncos, Raiders. Raiders -2.5.
Who's the get right game for?
The Raiders?
Everybody.
The Broncos are still 2-1, dude.
Yeah, but
There's so many 2-1
it's been
teams that are like,
ugly,
Wait.
ugly.
This
team.
is in Vegas, and the Raiders are favored by
2.5.
2.5 points.
I like that.
You're going to take that?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that
That's
one.
your 5.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm done.
Here's my 5th pick. Broncos country.
let's ride.
Let's ride.
ML.
Money line.
Okay. Bucks, Chiefs at home in Tampa.
I mean, Russell Wilson can't be much worse, can he?
No, Chiefs in Tampa -1 Tampa. Over under 45.
Chiefs -1 in Tampa.
I mean, I'm out of bets. So
You're out of bets. Can I say I kind of like the under in that too?
Yeah. You
I
can.
really love the under.
Mike Evans come back.
You think it's going to be a shootout?
Maybe.
They put
I
up
don't-
17 against the Colts.
I don't know if
The Bucks
Get
team's
right
been
game.
The Bucks D's been great.
Yeah.
Are either of these teams like shootout teams? Like I know
Anymore?
that's kind of weird to say about the Chiefs, but I don't think that's how they're supposed to beat people now. It's not like put up 42 points.
Even though they did that.
They did, but then last week they got incredibly stymied. So I would, if anything, like you can't stop Andy Reid twice. So I would say, but that Bucs defense is so good. This is an interesting game.
It's a really interesting
It
game.
would have been a pass even if I had my bet.
And then Monday Night Football, the Rams go to the Niners, who I was wildly unimpressed with last week. San Francisco.
I feel like both these teams have been pretty unimpressive thus far.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that division is more up for grabs than people think.
I think that division is not the worst in football, but the most overrated. That is the most overrated division of football.
Who's the worst in football?
Still the AFC
South.
South.
Dude, the South is pitiful. Borderline
The South shall not rise.
pathetic.
Which South though? I'm not like incredibly impressed with the NFC South either.
No, but I'm more impressed than I thought I would be because the Falcons are better
you?
than I thought.
Sure.
The Saints are worse than I thought, obviously.
Right.
The Panthers are better, could be better. This is a telling game. This Panthers-Cardinals game will decide for me which the worst division.
So what happens if the 49ers beat the Rams? Then how do you feel?
Then I'm confused.
Yeah.
Then I'm really confused. What if the NFC East is better than I thought. The Giants are like not bad.
The NFC
There's-
it's the best division of football.
Yeah, there's two 2-1 teams.
Winning percentage wise.
Yeah.
3-0 team, and then there's
1
a
and 2 team.
Yeah.
And honestly, hot take. Like the Eagles might be the best team in the league.
I don't know about the league, but
NFC.
NFC.
I don't think that's a hot take. I think in the league it's somewhat of a hot take.
I think the Bills had difficulty playing in Miami. It was so hot, and we'll recap everyone's bets in just a hot
So
second.
hot.
But they have a run game problem.
the Bills.
They have a run game problem.
Singletary's actually been pretty decent
In
thus
the
far.
pass, he was good last game. He was pitiful in the run. They have a run game issue.
But we were talking about it like it's all about the team's identity and what they do well and maximizing that. I mean, we talked about that on our show earlier this week on the Charity Stripe. We talked about it on our Best of Believe on Stadium show. Like, do you have to have a number 1 to 3 down back rusher or even just a guy that can get you 4 yards every time you hand the ball off to him? Do you have to have that?
No, but I think it's important. I think more often than not, teams win that way.
So you would look at the offense in Philadelphia and the offense in Buffalo, and you would say, look, the offense in Philadelphia is more well-rounded.
More well-rounded. Their RBs are better. Their wide receiver duo, not too far off, if not just as good. I think we maybe got a little too overzealous in Gabe Davis. We'll see. But I think I would rather have Devonta Smith than him.
He's been hurt. I mean,
I would
think
definitely rather have Devontae Smith than him.
They have a better tight end.
than Gabe Davis, but
Yeah.
would you rather
Better
have
tight end?
Would you rather have the trio of
McKenzie?
right? Because then you add McKenzie in there too, who's played quite well this season.
Sure.
It's AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. Who else they have?
Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get Goddard in the mix, like then I think I would probably take that
Right.
entire.
I'd take him over Dawson Knox.
For sure.
Any day
For
of
sure.
the week and
For sure.
twice on Sundays. When
Yeah.
it's the most important day for football.
Twice.
Twice on Sundays. Okay. The running back room is better. Jalen Hurts is a better runner. Obviously not a better passer. The line is amazing in Philadelphia, and the defense is really good. Like I don't think it's a crazy take. I think they also like when push comes to shove, like they wallop the Commanders.
Yeah,
They'll at least beat the Giants and the Cowboys once more a pop.
they wall up the Vikings.
Yeah, they beat the brakes off the Vikings, dude.
Crushed them. I like this James Cook guy though for Buffalo. I think in 6 weeks he could be getting a lot more looks.
Yeah, I mean his
I
brother.
like the Zach Moss guy too. He's a Believe host.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to Zach Moss.
their running back stable is not as bad as you'd think.
I don't think it's bad.
I actually think it might be as good, if not better, than the Eagles.
Sanders is a better running back.
He's the best out of all those
It's
guys.
Sanders, Gainwell, Boston Scott.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, sure. If you want to
He might be the best runner of everybody.
he is.
In the league.
No,
No.
Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar.
Lamar might be the best overall runner in the league from his ability, from where he gets set up.
You know what? That's actually a good question though, because I think I trust Hurts for like a 7-yard run more than I do Lamar. Now,
Yeah, okay.
is Lamar going to break off a 40-yard run.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And then
Because I think Hurts is bigger, and I think he's like not as scared of. I'm not saying Lamar's scared of contact, but his body is not made for contact as much as Hurts is. Like Hurts, Hurts can take a hit.
He's just moving faster too, and if you're moving faster, you get hit faster.
Right.
You get hit harder.
Fumble the ball more. Right. I think Hurts is more of just like a running back.
Yeah, he's a moose. All right, before we sign off, really quickly, here's to recap where you guys stand. We'll see who does better this week. You have Saints in London plus 2.5, Nick. You also have the over 51 in that Ravens-Bills game. Toss, you have the under 39.5 in Giants-Bears. You have Falcons money line, Chargers spread 5 against the Texans. Nick, you have plus 6.5. Jags going to Philadelphia. Toss, you have plus 3. Jets going to Steelers. Toss, you also have Nick, you have minus 4. Seahawks in Detroit. And then you have Broncos country. Let's ride.
Nice. Did you write that down and just it's off the dome?
Nick has the Raiders minus 2.5.
Yeah, you missed that, bro.
You do have the Raiders minus 2.5.
I do.
That's the only game where we were truly betting against each other.
Yeah, we're against each other there. Brought to you by betonline.ag.
Go to betonline.ag today. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Tossman, the Rock Tosopoulos, DJ, Nicky Snacks, Carter fans out there. Drag both feet inbound, swing a full count, rip that puck, hit that putt. Hit your PKs because they're free and your free throws. Why, guys?
Because they are free.
That they are. We out. We love you.